They called her the Gen Z teacher, but her real name was Angela. She was young, beautiful, bold, and nothing like the other teachers in St. Catherine's Model College. From the day she walked into the school, everything changed. Her jeans were always tight, her tops always cropped. Her nails were long, painted in colors that caught the sun. Her lashes were thick. Her heels clicked louder than the principal's footsteps. Her perfume filled the hallway like a celebrity's arrival. She didn't wear the usual bland brown skirts or dull cardigans. No. Angela dressed like Instagram lived inside her wardrobe. Students loved her, especially the girls. They whispered, giggled, and followed her like fans. She's different. She's real. She understands us. Even the boys stared like she was a music video. And every time she entered a classroom, phones slid quietly from pockets to record her walking in. She taught literature, but her classes were not just about Shakespeare or Chimamanda. She brought speakers into the class, played Afrobeats, gave students nicknames, took selfies with them. Sometimes she would sit on the desk, cross her legs, and say, "Today, we're not learning literature, we're learning life." Students clapped. Other teachers rolled their eyes. "Discipline is dying," one of them said. But the principal didn't complain. As long as the students were excited and exam results stayed good, she was untouchable. Angela called her teaching style Gen Z Education one afternoon. After teaching a short poem, she paused. "Let's talk about relationships," she said. A boy in the front raised his eyebrow. "Relationships?" Angela smiled. "Yes, I know many of you are dating or thinking about it." Giggles filled the room. She leaned in. "Ladies, if a guy doesn't pay for your nails, don't text him back. Gentlemen, money first, feelings later. That's how the world works." The class cheered. She continued, "Virginity is not a prize. Anyone who tells you to keep it is living in the past. This is 2025, not 1960. Someone clapped. Others laughed nervously. She smiled wider. "I'm not here to judge. I'm here to teach what nobody else will." Parents started noticing a shift. "My daughter doesn't wear long skirts again. My son said they had vibe session in literature class." But whenever they raised concerns, the school replied with smiles. "Miss Angela is modern, but she delivers. We're adjusting to new methods." But there was something they didn't know. Angela's mission in the town was not just to teach, but to take revenge for what the town did to her and her mother by corrupting all the female students. You see, Angela was not born like this. She was not born loud. She was born in a small Christian home in the town. Quiet, humble, peaceful. Her father, Mr. Oliver, was a church deacon. Her mother, Ruth, was a choir leader. Their lives were simple. They prayed every morning. They ate together every night. Angela was the child everyone envied, obedient, gentle, soft-spoken. "Your daughter will grow to be a light," people always said. But light can be stolen, and hers was stolen early. Angela was 11 when her father fell sick. At first, it was small. A cough, a headache. Ruth placed warm cloth on his head and whispered, "It is well. My husband God will heal you." But on the third day, his breathing became heavy. Shock spread through the village. But what spread faster was the rumor. She killed him. She used him for money. She is a witch. The she was not Angela. It was her mother. Her father's relatives cried loudly and pointed fingers. Her mother screamed and begged. But the town believed the louder voices. Within a week, Ruth, a widow with one child, was branded a murderer, and the town passed a decision. Angela must be taken away. Before her mother corrupts her, they said. Ruth fought. She cried. She held Angela and refused to let go. But the elders dragged the little girl away. Their hands pried Angela's fingers from her mother's clothes. Her screams echoed across the village. Mommy! Mommy! Don't leave me! But nobody cared. Light was easy to snatch. Angela was taken far from her village, far from her mother's cry, far from everything she knew. They took her to the city, to Aunt Mabel. They said it was for her safety. Aunt Mabel's house was big, but cold. It did not smell like home. It did not sound like home. It did not feel like home. The moment Angela entered, she knew love did not live there, because Mabel's house was nothing like home. She changed men like clothes. Morning, a man in the kitchen. Afternoon, another man laughing loudly. Night, different voices behind closed doors. Angela slept in the corridor on a thin mattress. No hugs, no prayers, no bedtime stories, just noise, just fear, just survival. Her clothes faded, her shoes tore. Her school fees were paid only when her aunt felt generous. Mabel would say, I feed you, I shelter you. Don't expect motherly love on top. Angela cried often at night. But tears don't change the world. They only make pillows wet. By 16, Angela began to change. Her aunt taught her without words. Use what you have to get what you want. Beauty is currency. Men only give when they benefit. Angela watched the lifestyle, the makeup, the outfits, the late night calls, the secret envelopes of money. By her final year in secondary school, she began to forget who she used to be. She started applying makeup. She started talking boldly. She stopped praying. Bit by bit, the innocent village girl disappeared, and the world took her place. When she gained admission, Aunt Mabel told her plainly, I will only pay tuition, feeding, upkeep, everything else. Find a way. Angela nodded, but inside she panicked. Thousands of girls arrive university poor. Not all survive. The boys notice her beauty first, then the lecturers, then the men with cars. The first man she dated was Collins. Collins was tall, handsome, with a soft smile that made girls look twice. He wore shoes that shone like mirrors. He always smelled sweet, like ripe fruit. One afternoon, he sat beside Angela under a big tree. She was eating plain noodles with no egg. He looked at her gently. Why are you eating like this? He asked. Angela smiled small. I am fine, she said. Collins touched her hand. You don't have to pretend. You are too beautiful to suffer. Her heart jumped. Nobody had called her beautiful like that before, not with such a soft voice. Day by day, he walked with her. He brought her small gifts, fruit, biscuits, a little perfume. He held her hand in the hostel walkway. He called her angel. He called her my star. He kissed her forehead and whispered promises. I will take care of you. You will never suffer again. You are my only one. Angela believed him. Her heart opened like a flower seeing sunlight. Then 1 month later, her period did not come. Angela sat on her bed trembling. She held the pregnancy test in her shaking hand. The 2 lines looked back at her like eyes. She went to find Collins. He was sitting with friends, laughing loudly. She pulled him aside. Collins, I need to talk to you. He sighed. What is it? Angela's voice was small. Collins, I think I am pregnant. For a moment, his smile froze. Then he laughed. A big, loud laugh that made her heart crack. Pregnant? He repeated, still laughing. Twice cannot make a baby. We only did it 2 times. Stop this joke. Angela felt tears rising. I am not joking. Look, he raised his hands like he was pushing her words away. Angela, please, I don't want stress. Take this money and handle it. He pushed crumpled notes into her hand. He didn't look at her face. He didn't hold her again. He didn't call her Angel. Then he walked away to join his laughing friends. Angela stood alone, her fingers tight around the money. The sky felt heavy. The ground felt far away. Her heart felt like broken glass. She used the money. She went to a small clinic. She lay down on a cold bed. She held her own hand because no one else was there to hold it. Pain shot through her like fire. Tears ran from her eyes. Her breath trembled. After everything, she walked back to her hostel slowly, her legs weak, her heart empty. That night, she called on her mattress and cried into her pillow. Her tears soaked the cloth until it felt like a wet rag. But the next morning, the school bell rang. Students laughed. Lecturers shouted. People rushed to class. University did not stop because her heart was broken. It did not slow down for her pain. She wiped her eyes, stood up, and carried herself to class like nothing had happened, even though something inside her had cracked forever. Life moved on, but Angela's heart was still bruised. She walked around campus with slow steps, carrying her pain like a heavy bowl of water. She did not tell anyone. She did not trust anyone. Then, Mr. Julius came. He was one of her lecturers, tall, neat, always smelling like new books. Students feared him because of his strict voice. But when he spoke to Angela, his voice changed, soft like warm bread. One afternoon after class, he stopped her by the door. Angela, he said, you have a bright mind, and you smile with your eyes. It is rare. Angela looked down shyly. Thank you, sir. The next week, he gave her a new textbook. For you, he said. She held it close to her chest. A few days later, he paid her rent quietly. He sent food money. He checked on her at night. He messaged her, are you safe? Have you eaten? You are special. Angela began to breathe again. Her heart, once broken, started to feel warm. She believed him. She trusted him. But life is a river that changes without warning. 1 month later, she noticed her body was different. Her period did not come. Her breath felt heavy. She went to his office with shaking hands. He was marking papers when she entered. Sir, she whispered. He did not look up. Yes, Angela. She held her fingers together tightly. Sir, I think I am pregnant. His pen froze. He looked at her slowly. His face became dry like Harmattan wind. He stood up. Angela, he said sharply, do not bring trouble to me. She stepped back a little. Sir, I thought what? He snapped. That I will destroy my name for you? She felt her chest tighten. He opened his drawer, took out some money, and pushed it into her hand. Handle it, he said, quietly. Do you hear me? She tried to speak. Sir, please. But he raised his hand. No more word. Leave, and do not call me again. She left his office with shaking legs. Her tears dropped one by one on the corridor floor. He sent the rest of the money later and blocked her everywhere. The procedure was painful, more painful than the first. She bled. Her fingers dug into the hospital bed. Her stomach tightened and shook. Her breath came in broken pieces. When she walked home after, the sky was dark. The wind was cold. Her body felt empty, and her heart felt hollow like an old drum. The next morning at class, Mr. Julius taught with a straight face. He acted like she did not exist. Angela sat in the back row, holding her stomach, her eyes burning. But she did not cry. She faced the board. She took notes. She pretended to be fine, just like always. She suffered in silence. After Mr. Julius, Angela promised herself she would not fall again. But the world is full of sweet voices that hide sharp teeth. That was when Ose came. Ose was a businessman, rich, bold, driving a shiny black car, wearing watches that sparkled like stars. He saw Angela one evening at a campus shop. She was buying cheap noodles. He smiled at her. "You should not be eating that," he said. "You deserve better." Angela looked away. "Sir, I am fine." But Ose kept coming. He brought her food. He bought her clothes. He took her to restaurants where plates shone like mirrors. He held her hand across the table and said softly, "You are my treasure. You are my wife. I will marry you." Angela looked into his eyes and believed every word. Her heart, already cracked, tried to grow again. For the first time in a long time, she felt chosen. She let herself fall, and then her period stopped. Angela's breath shook. Her hands trembled. She sat on her bed and cried a little. Not from fear this time, but from hope. Maybe this time the father would stay. Maybe this time her belly would bring joy. Maybe this time someone would choose her fully. She met Ose at a quiet restaurant corner. He was checking his phone when she walked in. "Ose," she whispered, "I have something to tell you." He looked up with half a smile. "What is it, my treasure?" "I am pregnant." The smile left his face instantly, like a candle blown out by strong wind. He leaned back. His eyes turned cold. "Angela," he said, "I have a wife and 2 children. I only wanted fun." Angela froze. "What?" "But you said—" He raised his hand. "I said nothing you can hold. Do not bring trouble into my home." He pulled out a small bundle of money and dropped it on the table. It hit the wood with a thud, a cold, heavy sound. "Use this," he said, "and take care of it. I cannot be involved." Angela stared at the money. It felt like a stone thrown at her heart. Her breath shook. Her eyes burned. Her mouth could not move. O stood up, straightened his coat, and walked away without looking back. The procedure this time almost ended her life. The nurse held her hand and said softly, "You lost too much blood. Your womb is damaged. Pregnancy may never come again." Those words felt like knives, sharp, deep, cold. Angela lay on the hospital bed with tears sliding down her cheeks. "No, no, no," she whispered, clutching her stomach, as if she could hold the womb together with her hands. When she returned to her room, she closed the door and fell to the floor. The next day, the next week, but the truth didn't change. Her womb was gone long before her hope was. After years of struggles, she graduated from the university after school. Angela told herself, "I will start again. I will find peace." She met Samuel not long after. Samuel was gentle. He spoke softly, like rain touching dry soil. He held doors open. He called her "my dear." He listened when she talked. He did not shout. He did not lie. He did not look at other women. For the first time in a long time, Angela felt something calm inside her chest, something like a small lamp glowing. They married in a small church. No big music, no big food, just simple smiles and simple prayers. Samuel carried her small bag to their room and said, "Angela, this is your home now. You will never suffer again." Angela smiled. She believed him. Then the waiting began. Every month, Angela checked her body. She prayed that her stomach would grow. She touched her belly softly and whispered, "Please, please, just this once." But her belly stayed flat like a quiet drum, month after month. Rain season, dry season, harmattan season. Nothing changed. Doctors were far. Hospital tests were costly. But Samuel still held her hand and said, "It is not your fault, Angela. We will keep trying." Angela nodded and smiled on the outside. But inside, her heart shook like weak glass. Because she remembered the nurse's voice. "Your womb is damaged. Pregnancy may never come again." But she kept hoping. She hoped until the hope began to hurt more than the truth. One night, she sat alone on their bed, her hands on her flat stomach. She whispered to herself, "What if it is not my husband? What if it is me? What if someone else? What if I cheat on him with another man?" A dangerous thought, a wrong thought, crept into her mind like smoke. "If another man can make me pregnant," she told herself, "maybe Samuel will smile again." Her heart was confused. Her mind was weak. Her body was tired. She made the mistake. It was one time, one foolish time, one moment of fear mixed with desperate hope, and nothing happened. Her belly stayed the same. Her heart stayed empty. But secrets do not stay buried. They rise like smoke from a hidden fire. Samuel found out. He came home early. He found a message on her phone, a message she forgot to delete. He called her name, "Angela." She rushed out. "Samuel, what is—" He held her phone in the air like a weapon. His face was red. His voice shook. "What is this?" he shouted. What have you done?" Angela's legs felt weak. "Samuel, please, let me explain." "There is nothing to explain," he roared. "You are barren and unfaithful." He went outside, grabbed her clothes, and threw them into the dust like old rags. "Get out of my house," he shouted. "Get out before I lose my mind." Angela fell to her knees. "Samuel, please, I am sorry. I did not mean—" "Leave now," he screamed. Neighbors gathered. Some whispered, some pointed, some shook their heads. Angela picked her clothes one by one. Her hands shook. Her eyes were full. The world around her sounded far away. She placed everything into one small suitcase. The same small suitcase she carried from Aunt Mabel's house years ago. She stood up slowly. Her heart felt empty, like a broken pot. Nothing inside, nothing left. She looked at Samuel one more time. He turned his back. Angela walked away, her suitcase skipping the ground softly, her tears falling silently. She did not know where she was going. She did not know what life would do next. She only knew that something inside her had broken for the last time. What came after this moment was not love, not healing, but the beginning of the storm she would one day carry back to the town that first broke her. She had lost everything. A mother falsely accused, a childhood stolen, a womb destroyed, a marriage crushed. She felt the world had eaten her whole, so she made a decision. I will teach, and I will return to my hometown. Let their children feel what their wickedness created. That was how she became Angela, the bold teacher, the stylish teacher, the one who taught loudly, dressed loudly, and lived loudly. Not because she loved noise, but because silence had killed her once, and she refused to die quietly again. And now she wants to teach the town a lesson for disrupting her life from childhood. So, from her very first week in the school, things started to change. The school uniforms for girls used to be long gowns with sleeves, conservative plain. Angela shook her head when she saw them. "This looks like prison uniform," she said with a smile. She met with the principal privately. Sir, if you want the girls to be confident, let them feel good in what they wear. Let's modernize the uniform. It's time to look sharp. The principal hesitated. What exactly are you suggesting? Angela smiled. Short pink skirts, white short sleeve shirts, neat, trendy, and smart. Trust me, they'll love it. He eventually agreed. Within 2 weeks, the change was made. The girls returned to school in short pink skirts that hugged their thighs. Their shirts were tighter, with buttons that strained slightly across their chests, white socks, glossy lips. The town noticed. Some mothers whispered, "Why is our daughter's uniform now like clubwear?" Others said, "At least they look neat and modern." Angela became a favorite among the students. She cracked jokes in class, told them about city life, and encouraged the girls to speak freely about anything. She told the girls, "Speak your mind. Don't let anyone silence you. Having a boyfriend is not a crime. It's part of growing up." She told the boys, "Money first, feelings later. Don't suffer for anybody's love." She even organized what she called class matchup, secretly pairing girls with boys in class. She gave them nicknames and even encouraged love letters. "You and you match. You two sit together. You both look sweet. Talk small behind the desk." The students giggled. They sent letters. They met secretly during break. Some held hands behind trees. Angela allowed girls to sit behind her desk for private talks. She listened to their secrets. She gave them advice like, "Virginity is not a prize. If you like someone, you like someone. It is your life." Slowly, the quiet girls became bold. Shy girls now winked at boys. Girls who used to hide now walked proudly. The whole school changed, like she sprinkled magic powder on them. But magic is not always good. The first trouble came with Ada. Ada used to be soft like morning butter, quiet, obedient, always reading books. One morning, she collapsed in the bathroom. She was rushed to the clinic. The nurse told her mother softly, "Your daughter is 2 months pregnant." Ada cried and whispered, "It was Emeka." From SS3, Miss Angela said it was okay to have a boyfriend. She said we looked good together. Her mother almost fainted. The second trouble was Bisi. Bisi lived in a pastor's house. She used to wear long skirts and tie her hair in tight braids. After Angela arrived, her skirts got tighter, her lip gloss got brighter. One day, she was caught behind the staff room, kissing a boy named Tega. When the teachers reported it, Angela only smiled and said, "Teenagers must explore." 2 months later, Bisi's mother found blood on the bedsheet. At the hospital, the doctor said she had a miscarriage. Her father cried like a broken drum. Then came the biggest shock. Chika, the daughter of the PTA chairman, beautiful, smart, a future lawyer. Angela told her one day, "With your beauty, you can control any room." Chika blushed. Her confidence grew. She started sneaking out during Angela's free periods. She met a boy from another school. One morning at assembly, Chika fainted. The result came back, pregnant. The PTA chairman cried in the principal's office. His voice broke like a cracked pot. And when they asked Chika what happened, she said, "Miss Angela always encouraged us. She said we are old enough to know what love is." That was the last straw. Rumors spread. Mothers cried. Fathers shouted. The town buzzed with anger. "Miss Angela is spoiling our children. She made them lose their way. She told them things we never taught them." Everywhere, people whispered her name. Not with praise this time, but with fire. The town was boiling. A storm was coming. The principal called for an emergency staff meeting. 3 goals, 3 pregnancies, 3 broken homes, and 1 name on every child's lips. Miss Angela mothers wept. Fathers stormed out of their houses. Phones rang non-stop. Groups formed. Rumors exploded. Then, one Monday morning, parents began arriving at the school gate before 8 a.m. "We want to see the teacher corrupting our children. Bring her out. This nonsense must end today." Some carried placards. Some had photos. Some just carried rage. The principal tried to calm them. "Please, calm down. There's no need for this drama." A man stepped forward. Chika's father, the PTA chairman. "Drama? My daughter fainted from pregnancy and all you can say is drama." Others joined in. "She told my daughter virginity is useless. She matched my son and Ada like a dating app." "Bring her out," they all shouted. The noise echoed through the school compound. Students peeked through windows. Teachers stood frozen. The principal finally gave in. He turned slowly, walked into the building, and returned moments later with Angela. She was calm, hair perfectly laid, lips glossed, dressed in her usual tight blouse and pink trousers. The crowd hissed. But before anyone could speak, Angela raised her hand. "Please," she said gently, "let me talk." The principal nodded reluctantly. Angela stepped forward. Her voice didn't shake. It was clear and cold. "You all know me as the Gen Z teacher, the one who changed your daughters, the one who told them to speak up, the one who taught them that love is not a sin." "Yes, I did." A murmur ran through the crowd. "But do you know why I did it?" she asked. "Do you know who I am? Do you remember Ruth, the choir mistress whose husband died and was called a witch?" Some of the elders looked up suddenly. "Yes," Angela continued. "Ruth was my mother, the woman you disgraced, the woman you stole everything from, the one you dragged through the streets while I screamed and begged not to be taken from her. My childhood ended here in this town. My mother died with shame, and nobody said sorry." The crowd grew quiet. Angela's eyes burned. "So I came back to teach your daughters what you never taught me. To use their voice, to own their choices, to break the rules like the rules once broke me." She took a deep breath. "Was it revenge? Yes, because this town raised me with pain, and I returned to repay it in full." Gasps, whispers, silence. The principal's face was pale. The mothers were trembling. The fathers had clenched fists. But one elder, a gray-haired man named Chief Ajala, stepped forward. "Angela," he said quietly, "you have spoken. And yes, this town failed you. But 2 wrongs never make a right. You turned your pain into poison and gave it to our daughters." She looked away. Another elder added, "You were wounded, but you became the wound." Angela didn't respond. Tears welled up in her eyes, but she didn't let them fall. The elder held a short meeting behind closed doors. When they returned, Chief Ajala announced, "Angela must leave this town today. She will never return, not as a teacher, not as a visitor. This is our judgment." Angela said nothing. She turned slowly, entered the staff room, picked her bag, and walked out of the school compound. No goodbyes, no second chances, just silence. As she walked past the school gate, the crowd parted. Some looked away. Some watched her go. But nobody stopped her. She disappeared down the road, swallowed by dust. And just like that, the Gen Z teacher was gone. I hope you enjoyed the story. If so, please like the video, comment what you learned from the tale, share with friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more African folk tales just like this one. Thank you.